Julian from Anthony's Espresso here in our commercial setting. And today I'm going to do a quick video about how you want to maintain your commercial machine. Now, maintenance on a commercial machine is very crucial in guaranteeing the longevity of your commercial machine. Depending on the volume that you're doing in the cafe or restaurant that you're at, you do want to make sure you're doing this cleaning cycle at the end of every day to guarantee that you're not going to have issues of either clogging on your steam wand or potential clogging or damage to your group head or the internal workings of your espresso machine. So we're going to start first off with the backflushing cycle. Now with the backflushing cycle, every machine has different ways of going through it, whether it's a manual or automatic setting. This one here, the Woody 2 group, it does have an automatic backflushing cycle to it, but I'm going to go through a little bit of the steps you want to take for the manual one. So the first thing you want to do is first off make sure you have the right tools. So I have a steam pitcher, Cafeza cleaner. I have a tool to help remove the basket from the portafilter, our blind basket, and a brush, and a container that I'm going to use to soak my portafilters. So the first thing we want to do is take our portafilters out. Right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to remove our portafilters. Next, we're going to remove the baskets from the portafilter. Now, if you don't have a tool, you can use something like a spoon or something that you're able to wedge in there. Just make sure that you're not doing it too aggressively that damages or scratches your portafilter or your basket. So we see right now that we do have a lot of buildup on our baskets. So we're going to put our basket in our container. And we're going to take one portafilter and put it in the container as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of Cafeza to our container. Not too much. And then, I'm going to sink this steady. We're going to add some water. Now, when you're adding your water to your Cafeza bath, you don't want it to submerge the portafilter completely. You just want it enough to submerge the metal part of it. The reason why is that you don't want the Cafeza powder to be soaking the wooden handle because it can damage it in the long term. Now, what the Cafeza does is it helps break away all the coffee oils and grime that's on your basket and on your portafilter. Now, you don't need to let this soak for too long. Normally, I say about 15 to 20 minutes is honestly more than enough. But if you have a portafilter where there's a lot of buildup of oils and grime on the bottom of the portafilter itself, then you may need to let that sit in the bath a lot longer to be able to break it out and clear that out. This should be done at the end of every day based on how much espresso you're making, but I do recommend it as an everyday routine. With the extra portafilter you have, you're going to put in your blind basket. You're going to add your Cafeza. Now, when you're adding your Cafeza, you're adding very, very little. You don't need a lot. So this amount, honestly, is more than enough. Then we're going to lock our portafilter in the group head. Now, if you don't have the automatic option to do a backflushing cycle, you want to do it manually, you can. And to do that, you're going to hit the manual button and let it run for about 10 seconds. And then afterwards, you're going to stop it, let it sit for 10 seconds, and then you're going to run the process again. And you're going to be doing this roughly about 5 times. So what this does is that first off, it helps dissolve the Cafeza, and then the pressure from going back and forth will help that pressure suck the water in back into the group head and break down any coffee grinds and oils that are on the basket and inside the group head itself. Once that process is done, what you want to do is take out your portafilter, get your brush, and brush along the side of the gasket and the screen. And this removes any of those leftover coffee grinds along the gasket area and inside the group head. Once you're done doing that, so you're going to take your portafilter again, put it back in, but this time with no Cafeza, and you're going to run your backflushing cycle again. Once the process is done, you can see right here all the coffee grinds and oils we got from the group head. Now I do recommend just giving it one more run, just for a little bit. And what you're trying to see each time you do it is you're trying to make sure the water is coming out clear. And as we see, still a little bit of brown solution there. As you can see now, we have a nice clean water, and that indicates that all the coffee grinds and oils that were inside the group head are now cleared out. Once you're done doing the Cafesa cycle, that side of the group head is now done for the day, and I wouldn't use it again until the next day. When you are using the next day, turn on the manual option and let the machine run for about 10 to 20 seconds just to clear out any potential chemical left in the group head, and then just pull one dead shot. Don't drink it, just toss it, and that will get that group head nice and clean. Once you're done this side here, you're doing the exact same thing on the right side or the left side based on which one you did first. For the steam wand option, there's two ways you can go about cleaning your steam wand. One is you can get the rinse solution from Ernix, where you add that solution into your steam pitcher and then rinse it, steam it that way. If by chance you don't have that, then you can use Cafesa as well. You just have to do a little bit more of a thorough cleaning. So if you're using the Cafesa solution, what you're going to be doing is adding a little bit of powder to your steam pitcher. Add some water. Now you can remove the tip and let that soak in your solution. Take your steam wand and you're just going to let it steam. For a couple of seconds. And afterwards, you're just going to let this sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. It doesn't have to stay too long. If your steam wand has a lot of milk buildup on it, then you want to let it sit longer. It's most important though that whenever you're in service and you're done steaming your milk, you should be wiping it and purging it each time. The biggest thing is that if you have steam wand covered with old milk, it leaves a really nasty looking film, and there's a risk of those particles getting into the machine. If it gets into the boiler or anything like that, you have a big expense on your hands. So always make sure that whenever you're done steaming, you are purging and wiping your steam wand right away. If you take good care of your machine, it will last you a long time. Once that time has passed, you're going to steam it again for a little bit longer. Go up and down, kind of get it a little bit more submerged. Give your steam wand a wipe down. And steam it out to get rid of any chemical on the inside. And then when you're done, you should have a nice, clean steam wand. For the tip, just take it out of the solution, give it a little rinse, make sure it's completely cleaned off. You can use a little bit of soap, just unscented soap. Let it air dry, and then once it's done, screw it back on. And that's how you clean your steam wand. For your portafilters, when it's done soaking, what you want to do is just empty out the solution. Hand wash your portafilters. Again, you can use a Scotch pad with a little bit of soap just to clear out the remainder of the chemical. Once it's done, let it air dry and then put it back together and keep your portafilters in the group head. You always want to make sure that when the machine's done, and you're done using it at the end of the day, you want to keep those portafilters in there to maintain the temperature of the portafilter and the temperature inside your group heads. In terms of the external areas, your trays are removable. Those could just be hand washed. They don't need to be submerged in any special solution. Just a hand wash is more than enough. If you want to clean your stainless steel parts of your espresso machine, I do recommend getting like a stainless steel cleaner, spray directly on a microfiber cloth, and just wipe it down from there. You don't want to spray directly on the machine, just on a cloth, give it a wipe down using a microfiber cloth. When you are looking at the top area there, what I also recommend once in a while is take off the grates here, because sometimes dust and everything could be sitting on side the area right here. Get a cloth, give it a wipe down, make sure it's not a wet cloth, just like a slightly damp cloth or a microfiber cloth to remove all that leftover dust. Just make sure it's not soaking, because if any water gets inside the machine, there are electrical components on the inside that can fry because of that. So always make sure that you're not using a soaking wet cloth. Just a little slightly damp cloth and give it a wipe down. These parts here are removable and they can be hand washed as well. That's just a quick video on how to do maintenance on your commercial espresso machine. Again, if you're doing this upkeep at the end of every day, your machine's going to last you a lot longer. It's going to be happy, and you'll be happy too. So until next time, have yourself a good day.